Hi guys, I've only got half an hour. Let me just get my phone a minute. Ooh, someone just said, "Are you live?" Yes. Sandra Weber, yes, we're live. Yes. So I've only got half an hour. I've got to take my son to just drop him off at work. So we're definitely gonna have at least one long live today. How we going, guys? So let me just see who's here. I'm a little bit rushed, as usual. Hi, Karen. Hi, Jane. I haven't had a chance to tell everyone we're live, but it doesn't matter because we're only on for half an hour, and then I'll come back half an hour later. Hi, Liam. I'm going to come back half an hour later, and we're going to do an hour live. So we've got a few lives lined up today. So I wanted to quickly show you a Facebook post. Then I'm going to quickly try and play this Priscilla and Terry Wogan interview. So let's get Facebook up. So something came up. Let me just think where I've put it. I think I put it on my thing. That's it. Look, this is the post. It's on a different Facebook page. Let's see if it's going to work. There it is. Right, let's see if we can get the title of it up. Let's have a look. Not there. Let's have a look. Let's make that smaller. Right, so where is it? It was a Facebook. After a death of Priscilla played a major role in preserving his legacy. That's the one. Right. For some reason, it's not showing the write-up of it. Let me just make it smaller. No. Sorry, guys. We're going to get it, guys. We're going to get it. So basically, this Facebook page came up on my stream saying that basically Priscilla is the reason Elvis is remembered. Here we are. There it is. I see it now. Okay. Now let's read it quickly. Then that is going to be our topic on the next live when I come back after dropping my son off, guys. Morning to you. Obviously, we're on Defending Elvis. So after Elvis's death, Priscilla played a major role in the preserving his legacy, especially turning Graceland into a memorial, the site that attracts millions of fans around the world. Do you think that without Priscilla Presley, Elvis's legacy would be well preserved as it is today? 100% we are going to discuss that. One of the most iconic love songs when he joined the army in 1958, he met Priscilla Presley, who was 14 at the time. They always say her age. Elvis wasn't with her at age 14. When are people going to get that? Just because he met her doesn't mean he was having sex with her. And this song is often associated with the early days of their romance. Right. Let me just make sure there's no music playing. Let me just double check. Right, so no. So this is going to be our topic. There's a lot of comments, 337 comments, and we're going to discuss them, guys, because this is just annoying me, yeah? So quickly, let me just quickly play one of my I posted last night. Now, our researcher, Amy, sent me this clip, so I'm very grateful to her. So let me just go to, I'll play it. It's a very short clip. It completely proves that Priscilla did not save Graceland. It was not her idea to open the Living Museum, to make it into a Graceland museum as a memorial to Elvis. It was not her idea. It was already happening. I must reiterate, anybody that thinks Priscilla saved Graceland and it was her idea to open the museum, you are wrong. Yeah? Let's listen to this.
Plans were not only in his hands, but in the hands of the staff and people who were working with him. And I presume that the Colonel Parker efforts, along with others connected with the estate, will pursue the museum or something to commemorate or to support the memory of Elvis Presley, and certainly
Morris says he hopes to be able to announce firm plans for the museum August 16th. That's the second anniversary of Elvis's death.
So guys, I'm going to let it play again.
plans were not only in his hands, but in the hands of the staff and people who were working with him, and I presume.
So remember, it says Shelby County, yeah? These are the people that are in charge in Memphis, yeah? At the top, you know, obviously at the time of this happening, yeah?
That the Colonel Parker efforts, along with others connected with the estate, will pursue the museum or something to commemorate or to support the memory of Elvis Presley, and certainly
Morris says he hopes to be able to announce firm plans for the museum August 16th. That's the second anniversary of Elvis's death.
So what we're going to do, so we just get his name up again.
plans.
Right. We're going to try and learn more about this, yeah? So, guys, it just infuriates me why people think Priscilla saved Graceland. Why they think that she is the reason it was launched as a living museum. There's so many sites now saying that Priscilla is the reason Elvis is remembered. I personally think Lisa Marie was tricked into also believing that Priscilla is the reason Elvis was remembered. So it's a travesty, guys. Anyway, let me quickly. I'm rushing a bit because I know I've got to take my son to football. Let me just quickly go to the Terry Wogan interview. It's only 11 minutes long. I did my version of it, so I think I'm going to go to that. I did add a bit into it. Now let's just listen to it together, guys, and then we're going to review it as much as we can with the time we've got. But that is our topic today. Is Priscilla the reason Elvis's legacy has been preserved? That is the topic. Morning, guys. We're going to have another day of defending Elvis Presley today. This one obviously is concerning Priscilla Presley, this 1985 interview with Terry Wogan. So the book has just come out. Terry Wogan, the British interviewer, journalist, has got some serious questions to ask. Let's look together at the answers that are very beautiful Priscilla Presley is giving. What do you think, guys? Put it in the comments. Do you agree with the decision that she made to write the book, to leave Elvis? Now remember, there was a build-up to the launching of the 1985 book, Elvis and Me. She'd done quite a few interviews. She was gradually winning public affection because initially the public were upset with Priscilla. This is 7-8 years after Elvis died. So she's trying to turn opinion in her favour. I personally think Terry Wogan can see through it. Let's listen to the way he questions her. Let's have a little look through and then we'll add some comments through the video.
A movie. Elvis Presley plays the second half of a riverboat partnership consisting of Frank and Johnny.
I love all this old BBC One stuff, this vintage stuff. I love it.
She's not here tonight either. She's now going to drop the greatest word or two my way on Friday by way of satellite. However, at this very moment, even as we speak, by these very self-same means, we wing our way to Denver, Hollywood, home of Carringtons and Colbys. If you scoff in disbelief tonight, try scoffing in disbelief.
So don't forget, in those days, all this satellite TV link was quite rare.
Go on. Scoff, scoff, scoff. On Wednesday week, Priscilla was there, but I wasn't here. Last Wednesday I was here, but she wasn't there. Tonight, we're all here, if we're not all there. And in a scant moment, Game Priscilla will be winging her way into your homes by satellite. Let me keep you on further tender hooks by telling you that the music tonight comes from the ether with our first guest before she disappears in me again. In one bound then to Hollywood.
Come on, we miss Terry Wogan. Don't we miss him? I grew up watching Terry Wogan.
And Dallas's Jenna Wade, otherwise known as Priscilla Presley.
I mean, I'll give her one thing, guys. She's a stunner. She is absolutely beautiful. I completely understand how she seduced Mike Stone, the karate champion.
By the miracle of television, there you sit, looking like a Hollywood goddess.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's 8 years now, Priscilla, since Elvis died, as you know, and you've carved out a successful career for yourself as an actress, particularly on Dallas. So why did you think it worthwhile to regurgitate the whole Elvis thing in a book?
Now, remember, he is probably one of the only interviewers that actually questioned why she released the book. Everyone else was like, oh, thank you, and they treated her like she was the new Elvis. Terry Wogan questions it. That is what makes this interview a bit unusual.
Actually, Terry, it's not something that I wanted to do. It's only because his past kept coming up, and there's been a lot of questions about him as a person. There's been a lot of other books that were written. A lot of them did not do him justice in any way. And I felt that it was my duty to take responsibility to hopefully put everything back into perspective.
Now, guys, come on. You know, I have very strong feelings about this thing where she trashes other people's stuff, but then the thing that she brings out trashes Elvis even more. Remember, in my opinion, the book Elvis and Me has been damaging Elvis for 40 years. 40 years.
It's just something that I felt I had to do. I didn't want what was written already to go down as history.
I didn't want what was written already to go down in history. She wanted to rewrite history. Just in that sentence alone, she's basically saying, I'm going to rewrite history. And we're going to be doing a live stream today covering many of these points. Almost her admitting that she was going to rewrite history, change history with her book. Guys, it worries me that somebody had this amount of influence and power to literally change how all of the fans around the world of Elvis Presley saw Elvis as a human being, saw his life. This book through the eyes of Priscilla Presley. It's very worrying.
But do you think it helped the perspective to reveal so many intimate details of your life together?
Oh, I don't think I revealed any intimate details as much as what I was doing is putting it back into perspective.
Oh, yes, she did. She did.
I keep going back to that because obviously all the other stories that have been going around, the rumors for all these years, the books for all these years, for the past 8 years, in fact, have blown everything out of perspective. And in my book, if you read it in its fullest, it speaks for itself. There is nothing in there that I feel, whoops, I think this is coming out, that I feel is very, it's just putting it back into perspective and making him a very normal person.
You hear that? Making him feel like a very normal person. That book helped, as well as other books like the book Elvis, What Happened, but that book made people around the world think Elvis was a groomer, a controller, a violent man, or maybe even a rapist. That book did so much damage, and she defends it. She defends it like she's done Elvis a favor. Bearing in mind, Lisa Marie is 17 years old.
But he doesn't come through as a normal person in the book. He
doesn't?
Well, no.
Well, normal.
See, I like this, Terry Wogan, but he doesn't come across normal in the book. Terry Wogan is on it.
Because,
Just 1 second.
For instance...
I got it, okay.
So she keeps playing with her earbud constantly for about 5 minutes. It's very off-putting, guys. Was she up to something? Was she purposely trying to distract him from his questioning? Because he's now trying to probe into why she's defending the book.
Good girl. For instance, I mean, you didn't have you slept together but didn't have any sex together for something like
Well,
6
what's
years.
normal?
So you slept together but didn't have any sex together for 6 years, he says. But that isn't actually true. That isn't actually true. We know from the Lisa Marie book that they did start sleeping together age 18. Remember, he didn't see her for 2 years. She moves to Graceland around 17, nearly 18 years old. And not long after, they were sleeping together. Obviously, we know at age 21, almost, from the wedding onwards, she gets pregnant. So we know they had sex. She was not a virgin on the night of the wedding. We've proved that with Lisa's book. So, but she doesn't disagree with him. She doesn't say to him, we didn't sleep with each other for 6 years. She's also keeping up the lie. She was a virgin on the night of the wedding, which we now know is a lie. So even now, there are lies being told around the world, mind. This is around the world. She is lying to the whole world. We now know that they slept together at age 18. She didn't lose her virginity to Elvis on the night of the wedding. So this is a web that is being spun.
What's normal? I mean, that was years ago. That was tradition, wasn't it? I mean,
But then in the book...
I think today what's happening is more abnormal than that.
Yes, but in the book...
Again, she deflects. She changes the subject. She turns it to, society today is more damaging now in 1985. She's almost changed the subject.
You've also said that, for instance, after you had your first child, he wouldn't have sex with you because you were a mother.
Now, remember, Elvis wouldn't have sex with Priscilla after the first child because within months of Lisa Marie being born, she was unfaithful with the dance instructor. That is why Elvis wouldn't touch her. This lie that he wouldn't touch her because he wouldn't sleep with a woman that had a child is a lie. We've proved it again and again that Elvis had no problem with having sex with someone who had a child. Susan Henning is just an example. But she carries it on. She carries it on. Oh, I've explained this in my book.
Well, I think I
That's not
explained that in
normal,
the
is
book.
it? Yeah.
What
No,
time are we leaving?
but I think I explained that. I don't
Okay.
think he should be condemned. Sorry, this thing. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
So what she should do is tell the truth. Yeah, she would never do that. She would never say, "Oh, hang on, I had sex with someone, my dance instructor, weeks after Lisa Marie was born, and that is why Elvis didn't want to touch me." She carries on the lie, and then she gives the reason that the reason Elvis wouldn't sleep with her after Lisa Marie was born is in the book. The book basically says Elvis wouldn't sleep with someone that had a child. Complete lie. Completely false.
You're coming through loud and clear.
Okay, I don't think he should be condemned for something like that. I mean, we all have problems. We have personal problems that, thank God we're in the 80s today and we can discuss them and talk about them. You have to remember we're dealing with the 60s. It was very difficult to communicate certain, let's say, insecurities or problems that we've lived with for many years. This is the 80s. And we're fortunate to have it, and I think we're much more communicative than we were back in those days.
Elvis fans, though, do feel and have expressed the feeling that you've been very disloyal in the book.
So I like this. Hi, Joanne. Joanne's watching. Hi, Joanne. Elvis fans express that they feel that you've been very disloyal in this book, and they are so right. Even in 1985, the fans knew that this book was trashing Elvis. So really, Elvis is being defended. Even in 1985, the fans are like, what are you doing? The way you treated Elvis, you were unfaithful to him, because the fans knew that she'd been unfaithful more than once. The fans knew that she deserted Elvis, that she took Lisa Marie with her, and Lisa Marie was forced to live with a stranger, Mike Stone. The fans knew that she demanded a divorce.
Right, I understand that, and I feel I don't feel that way. I mean, I don't think many of the people here in the United States feel that way. The book has been #1 for 5 weeks. My daughter has read the book.
Right, whoa. Before she talks about Lisa, the book has been #1 for 5 weeks. Of course it has. It sold millions of copies. She made an absolute fortune from this book. The whole world was interested in Elvis Presley in 1985 because this was one of the first things that had come out that really delved into the secret life of Elvis. Now, what the public didn't understand is that it was full of lies. Everything had been twisted and altered to make Priscilla look like a poor victim and to make Elvis look quite strange. So she goes on to say, my daughter read it 3 times and she was ecstatic about it, which I completely disagree with. She also says that, how can I explain it? It's almost like what she's doing is saying, look, my words are the truth. How I feel about Elvis's life, what I put in words in a book, is correct. Everyone else, what everyone else has done is wrong. This is all part of the brainwashing. The public was so gullible. They really bought in to what she was saying. They really treated her as a poor victim. She even speaks for the Americans. She even says, oh, you know, it's been accepted in America. The Americans love this book. I've had no backlash. Another lie. Another lie. The Americans were not happy that this book had been released, but they were also very gullible. Many people believed all the bullshit in this book.
Look, in fact, not just once, but 3 times, and absolutely is ecstatic over it. And
so from a defending Elvis point of view, does anyone here for a second think that Lisa Marie Presley would have been ecstatic over the things that were put in that book, knowing what we know? Does anyone even believe that Lisa read the book 3 times? She tries... Seriously, guys, do you think Lisa would have been ecstatic over reading that book? Put it in the comments, guys. I don't think so. There's so many gory details in this book that make Elvis look strange and just not very nice. Does anyone for a second think that Lisa Marie Presley would have been happy with that book? No chance. Did she even read it then? I would have thought behind the scenes, Priscilla and Lisa were arguing a lot about the book. We know that Lisa Marie was not happy that the book Elvis and Me was being used to make Sofia Coppola's film Priscilla, because she knew that that book portrayed her father badly, even writing an email, more than one email, to Sofia Coppola. So I'm not falling for it. A pack of lies, guys. To validate the book by saying that her daughter liked the book, loved the book. I have to disagree, guys. Please leave it in your comments. Do you honestly believe that Lisa liked the book Elvis and Me?
puts, again, everything back into perspective. I think it's very painful what's been happening over there. It's not like that here. Have you read the book, Terry?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, and I think this surprises her that Terry has actually read the book.
And do you feel that it's a disloyalty? I think that it makes him a human being. It makes him very sensitive. It makes him a person that one can deal with, and not this idol or this robot. I think it was. If people want to know what happened, it's in the book. And
not a disloyalty. Of course it's a disloyalty. You're giving out secrets that may be lies to the world. It's disloyal. It's like it makes him a human. No, it made him odd. I'm obviously, as a defender of Elvis, gutted that this even happened and that the public was so gullible to go along with the trash in this book. She's trying to defend it. Ultimately, this was about making money. She wanted to make money. She wanted to rewrite history, to reinvent the truth, her version of events from her point of view. Elvis at no point could disagree with anything she said. Elvis was not there to stand up for himself, to defend himself. So she literally could say whatever she wanted. Everything in that book could be a lie. Everything.
And that's exactly what happened. I don't think I was harsh with him by any means. I don't
think I was harsh with him by any means. Come on. Has she even read her own book?
With it very sensitively. It's 4 years that it took for me to write this book. And
so an admission, she had been planning that book for years. Remember, when she first divorced Elvis, the first year or so, she was quite tame on how she spoke about Elvis. Generally speaking well of him. But as we get to the end of the 70s, after Vernon dies, this new plan evolves to be the victim, to make her look like she was groomed, controlled, mistreated, like she was a prisoner in Graceland. There was a new plan slowly evolving. In the early 80s, she's starting to give interviews trashing Elvis, making the public think she had gone through hell, that she had suffered, that she had been a victim, that her life was terrible. Remember, she moved from humble Germany to Graceland's The Mansion, and her life completely changed. A celebrity lifestyle with anything she could ever want or dream of. Friends and family could visit. Elvis would buy her family cars, homes, etc. Many gifts were bought for the people that Priscilla liked. In my opinion, for entertainment purposes, she had an amazing life. She was not a prisoner. She had loads of freedom. Elvis bought her a car. One of the first things he did. She could have different lessons. We know about dance lessons. She was unfaithful. We know about karate lessons. She was unfaithful. So she goes on to paint a life of a mistreated woman, when the truth is she mistreated Elvis. Elvis was a victim. Elvis started to find out that there was a dark side to Priscilla that he didn't know was there. He didn't know was there. And she has lied to us for decades, saying she was a virgin on the night of the wedding, which was not true.
I'm proud of it, and many people who knew him, the family and the men who lived with us at that time I've had nothing but great validations for it.
I've had nothing but great validations for it. I'm sorry, guys. Does anyone believe this for a second? She's basically saying she's been fully supported on this book. It really worries me. It really worries me that this book, that in my opinion, that has done so much harm to Elvis's image and reputation, the way that she fully supports this book. And decades later, the film Priscilla is released by Sofia Coppola, that Priscilla fully supports, that Lisa Marie was against, has been made using the book Elvis and Me. Please leave it in your comments, guys. There's so much strong feeling about the book Elvis and Me. We need to expose the wrongdoing here. Right, guys, that's part one. I'm going to have to go. We're going to come back to part two of this. And then we're also going to go onto that Facebook page that asks us, did Priscilla preserve Elvis's legacy? Is the reason Elvis is remembered because of Priscilla, her involvement with Graceland and the opening of the Living Museum? So we've got a few bits to go through, guys. So I'll be back. I've got to drop my son off. Only not far. I'm going to be about 20-25 minutes, and then I'm going to come back. I'll put the link straight up so you guys can chat. Okay? Gotta go, guys. Thanks for joining me. Sorry that it's all been a bit rushed, but it's, yeah, you know my life, guys. I'm juggling time so I can get on here, but we are going to do some good stuff, guys. Right. Take care. I'll be back.